brand new old pineapple land. This is first crop in a greenhouse, so we're just trialing. Got 4 or 5 different cucumber varieties, and it was really an eye-opener because we got one here from Oregon, organic grown cucumber, and this thing is just, I mean, you can see these guys, it's storming. You just never know, you know? So
beautiful.
we have to do variety selections, and that's what we're doing here. And then this, of course, can go outside, but because of the fruit fly and for tomatoes and cukes, and we even had them stinging beans, laying eggs in the beans. And then another one is, and that one's open pollinated, so we can get feedback on that. This is, we've been harvesting this. I've already taken bunches off of this guy, and that was just jamming. And that's a same company, but this one is a what do you call it, hybrid. So it won't be the same cucumber, but those could be selected. So even if those are doing that well, then we can do a whole row of those, you know, and then start selecting the ones that perform the best. But that takes a few years to get the selections. This is another one. This is parthenocarpic, which means it just sets fruit. There's one in there, Diva. It sets fruit without pollination. These guys need to be pollinated, and they're getting pollinated in here. We're not spraying anything. No insecticides.
Are there any insects in here that you see that are pollinating, or is it wind pollinated?
Don't know. All I see is ants, and come in and shake them every day, you know, and in here and taking off the side. So who knows? I'm just gonna watch, kind of more of a participant than a scientist. And this one's from India, and obviously she's setting fruit too. This is more of the white, and this one makes a lot of male flowers, which are going to pollinate, which is cool. It's definitely setting fruit in here. So all the male flowers come out first, waiting for the girls, and then it just happens. There's a lot of ant. So are the ants pollinating? You spray one time, even with a botanical, you just eliminated the possibility of pollination in a greenhouse. So
Excuse me, just say that again. You spray one time with
spray one time in here with insecticide.
like a pyganic, even something like that. Yeah,
Anything
or
botanical. There's nothing sprayed on this farm. You just eliminated your testing. That's what I said to the university people. I said that's the good news, is that all those plants that you've the varieties that you've come up with over the years, which isn't a whole lot, they can do it over again because they don't perform in an organic soil. They're used to synthetic fertilizer. We've done side by side university seeds with our own pole beans, with organic pole beans, with our own organic tomatoes, and they don't perform at all. They're not used to an organic soil. They don't have enough roots to do it. This is here's our biological pest control. Can you see them? Spray one time in here and you just lost all the crab spiders. I bring them in. Bring in the wolf spiders, the crab spiders, the king spiders, and the little brown guys. I don't know what they are, but they all have a little niche, you know. So I'd come in and kind of ask them to stay up high. This is only a month old in here, this stuff.
These heads of lettuce are a month old?
Yeah. From transplant.
That's awesome.
Made a mistake on the tomatoes. I didn't totally. This is a Washington cherry. It is a strong plant, but I started training it to it's like a determinant to climb. It's not a determinant.
Oh, it's an indeterminate?
It's indeterminate. So got to do it over, but it's setting a lot of fruit. So yeah, these are my transplant. These guys just went in, and then we're direct seeding in between. squashes, zucchini, tomatoes. Got peppers down here. And do you know, all the stuff that likes a little more heat, and stuff that basically the greenhouses are. So we can get info to pass it on, because it's a niche market, cukes and tomatoes. So, but it needs that screen space.
Cool.
So gonna put 30% reflective shade on the roof, and that'll help keep the heat down. Exhaust fan right here, and solar powered, of course.
Cool. So reflective shade, 30% reflective shade, is that different than just like a black?
No sense, but why put black up there that absorbs heat and then radiates it into the greenhouse?
Okay.
So they have this reflective one, Luminet.
Uh-huh.
It's a little more money. It's actually not that much. Nice company in California, and it reflects 70% of the light or whatever it is. So, well worth it. We did them in, also the reflective aspect, we did out in the garden some testing, like with even over radishes in the summer.
Uh-huh.
The UV here is so high, and that's usually why most of the stuff doesn't do well in the summer.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people just quit. But we did the 30%, and side-by-side experiments, some direct seeded without the shade and the others direct seeded with the shade. The ones out in the open got that webworm.
Uh-huh.
The ones under the shade, nothing. Side by side.
Wow.
I go, wow, that was unexpected, kind of hey,
Uh-huh.
look at that. Supposedly the reflective stuff confuses the insects, so they can't find the plants. So this was trialed some different stuff. These are first time beds, so a lot goes in there, and makes it very challenging for a lot of the lettuces. Love it. They're getting their calcium and everything in there. They just jam. But other things not so happy. So we just transplanted this bed last night. So we'll see what happens. And these are from our own seed too, the Calura. All of the canasta is from our own seed here on site. We have arugula seed. This is our own Loma seed.
How long have you been saving seeds on this site?
On this site, it's been, since we've been here, it's about 3 years. Open this up. And we're working with, forgot to open that. This will drive the UH people nuts. This is going to be a tea. So we take all the trimmings and the cuttings from the plants to go into a bucket to make a tea. And then got the little, what do they call them? Maisie injector, siphon. So I'll just put it into the tea. So this is integrated indigenous microorganisms. Indigenous microorganisms. It's from on site, and everything's needed is right on the leaf. Nothing else is added. Just make that tea, and we use it like in a container, watering can. Just water the beds.
Awesome.
It made sense a long time ago to me. It's like, well, if a cucumber is growing, obviously it has everything it needs in the plant. So I started doing that with tomatoes a long time ago, making compost just with tomato bodies. Because they're like weeds here, right?
Uh-huh.
They might not set fruit, but they make a lot of leaf. And so I started using them, using tomatoes to mulch tomatoes, peppers to mulch peppers, stuff like that. And then put it into a tea thing. It just makes sense. Everything's right in the plant. This fear of disease is rampant. It's nuts. So no sprays in here. There's the cucumbers. Tomatoes are coming. Happy spiders. Oh, I'm putting in the lizards and the geckos too. So
Awesome.
they live in here. You can see here's all the gecko poop.